the smartphone, right? When it came to communication, the reason why the world survived with Nokia 3210s was because what we essentially really need from a phone is the ability to dial someone and message someone. That's it. Phone and text someone. That's it. But then when they established the smartphone, right, the first Apple iPhone, right, they had to sell us on the need for it as well. And now people can't live without smartphones, right? And then people start, and then you also look at the iPad. I think the iPad is like the number one you don't need product that just stole the world by them creating a need for you to have an iPad. Oh, it's a reader, it's a this. You can take it into your meeting, you can take it into your office, you can use it for presentations at work. If you are a salesperson, you can sit with it at your desk. If you're a dentist, you can have it on your reception and people can put in whatever details they want. They had to create the need. So in the same sense, if your product is something that is not an essential or necessity to people, figure out how to create the need for your product. Spend a lot of time, spend a lot of energy figuring out what to do. And the best thing you can do sometimes, if you wanna be involved in that, is to start off with not-for-profits. Not-for-profits and NGOs are people who are always looking for quality assistance in providing various solutions to the people who they assist, right? So they're always looking for free stuff, and they're always looking for stuff that they can try out. So if you go with a presentation for free, right, so that you can learn how consumers respond to your product, if your product can be tested in a not-for-profit. But if you have music, you've got SoundCloud, you've got YouTube. If you're creating a TV show or you're creating a podcast, like I've got Spreaker as my platform, you can use YouTube as your platform. But figure out the place where you can learn your market so that you can find out how you're going to create a need for what it is that you offer, right? But you've got to do a lot of, obviously, I can actually do an entire episode on how to do this, and I probably might. Shout out in the comment section if you want me to do that. Okay. Another thing that is probably important also to think in terms of the mindset is the idea of giving a gift versus looking for money, right? When you do something as a gift, the difference between you and the person who's doing it for money is that you have the necessary character to keep going even when things don't look like they're working out, right? Because at the end of the day, you appreciate the ability to do what you want and love more than a paycheck. And granted, yeah, people still need to eat, etc., which is why that horrendous deal of taking instructions for money will always be more appealing. But if you are in a position where you can supplement your lifestyle while you are building a brand, by all means, please go for it. Or if you have got a way to figure out how to do it, maybe go to work, bust your ass off, save enough money so that you don't have to earn money for 6 months, whatever it takes, just do it. Because I'll tell you this, right? When I do a show, right, for the DJ Dewa show, the Spreaker platform doesn't allow you to edit your show because it's actually designed for live broadcasting. So when I record an episode, I can't stop it. If I stop recording right now, I have to start this whole podcast episode again because I can't go back and edit from where I left off, right? So I have to be able to present live, entirely live the whole time. And then furthermore, right, when it comes to actually preparing the episode, I don't just come on the mic and freestyle. I take a lot of work, time, researching, writing down, practicing, etc. When it comes to marketing the show, the cover art that you see for the episodes, I actually designed those myself, right? So it takes a lot of time to design each cover art, the concept that goes behind it, the branding style, the imaging. But because I'm a marketer, that stuff comes natural to me. But I'm doing all of this, right? And then I go onto my Spreaker and I see that my episode that I've put a lot of time in weeks of preparation into has got 24 people who've listened to it. I love it. It goes bananas. I go crazy because I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I understand I have a gift and I have something to offer, and I know that people will listen. Something that I've always understood about my gift is that all I need is for you to hear me once, and I know you'll come back, right? Because I believe in myself. I believe in myself like that. So when I have an attitude towards this show of It doesn't matter how many people listen to it. The fact that one person listens to it is amazing. And I keep going. The same with the product that you're going to be developing. The same with the business that you're going to be running. If you're doing it for money, you're going to be discouraged when initially there is no payday, right? How long will it take before you break even and actually start earning money from your venture? It doesn't happen overnight, right? Even celebrities. The sad thing about celebrities is that we only ever see their success, but we never actually see them grinding, right? To Pimp a Butterfly won best Grammy for a Grammy for best rap album, but between Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly, it took 3 years. What the hell are you doing? 3 years for 13 songs of less than an hour in total time. 3 years for 13 songs and less than an hour of entertainment, right? But look at the payoff, right? It's big, because when you're doing something that you love, even when the money is not there yet, you have the attitude, you have the mindset to keep going. And when you keep going, right, that's when you're actually setting yourself up for the opportunity when someone comes to you and says, hey, I need this, or hey, can you come and present this, or hey, do you have an episode on this, or hey, can you do this? You're already in a position where opportunity meets preparation, and that's what some people define as success, But don't get something that I also notice when people are coming up with the products that they want to do. Don't get caught up in the 3 Ps of innovation, right? Don't get caught up in the last P. There's something that I call the 3 Ps of innovation. When I was working in Amana Living as the innovator at large, which was a fancy title, I loved it. It was good times working with them. I love that company. They're really, really cool guys. I came up with this thing. I used to keep a blog, and you can find it on Tumblr if you want, Trials of an Innovator. And I had this thing called the 3 Ps of innovation. And the 3 Ps are the pioneers, the perfecters, the pretenders, and the poachers, right? So pretenders/poachers. And the idea is, you look at social media, right? You've got the pioneers with like your Windows Live Messenger, the first chat services. I remember watching my brother back in the 90s with a microphone talking to some chick called Dark Angel, who was in the United States and he was in Zimbabwe, and we were so excited that, oh my gosh, there's someone else from across the world whose voices I'm listening to. Now we send WhatsApp voice notes like it's a joke, but there was a time when that used to be exciting, right? Then you move into the second phase where you have people called perfecters. That's when you've got your Facebooks, your Twitters, your YouTubes, your LinkedIn's, et cetera, et cetera. These are the people who've now perfected what the pioneers had initially started. And once something that happens in the perfection stage is that the market has caught up, either the technology is there, or the mindset is there, or the demand is there, right? This goes back into that whole idea of creating a need. If the mindset is there, like people actually don't have a problem talking with each other over long distances, right? Then you facilitate that by creating something like Facebook, or the technology like smartphones, which is the largest consumer of social media, that people actually do social media on their phones more than they do on anything else, right? So the technology is there. And then as well as, you've seen where there's some case studies for you to learn from, right? Then you move into this weird place of the pretenders and the poachers. These are the people who see Facebook worth $1 billion and they're like, right, I'm coming up with a social media thing. But you're not facilitating anything. You're not capitalizing on the intelligence of a market. You're not doing anything new. You're not doing anything that's fancy. And you come up with crap. But you still see people who seem to split through the cracks, like Instagram, like Vine, like Snapchat. They still see through the seams, which is cool, right? But initially, right, there's a lot of poachers and pretenders. So when you're thinking about your product or your business or whatever you want to do, ensure that you're a perfecter and not a pioneer, or not a perfecter and not a pretender or a poacher. It's cool if you want to be a pioneer, much love to you, but I'd rather be a perfecter, to be honest. And those are people who've just capitalized on the stuff that works. So that's just a little bit of what I wanted to talk about. And now I want to go into actually celebrating some people who I think are worth mentioning because they've taken this plunge. And the first person I want to mention is a guy named Dumi Mabena. I absolutely love this dude. He's the most chilled, most quiet, most reserved, most just classy gentleman, right? And he's decided to take the plunge of permission. And that's a cool thing. I'm actually going to start calling it that, the plunge of permission. He's taken the plunge of no permission, actually. And he's started a soap distribution enterprise. So he's got a brand called Starbright, and they make soap for washing clothes. And he's got his operation in Chitungwiza, and that's what he does. He wakes up in the morning, he goes to the gym, and then he goes and deals with the stresses of that. And he's loving it. You talk to him, he comes across as tired and etc., but he welcomes the tiredness because he's working towards establishing something that's awesome. And when Starbright becomes a household name, there's nothing I'm going to do but just sit back and just clap hands, Another dude is one of my most inspiring lads on the planet, Tom Clancy. Shout out to the clans, all the way in the Philippines. Tom is a luxury home builder, and he also dabbles in other business ventures because Tom, like most smart people, understand that true wealth comes from multiple revenues and not just one. So even if you do have a business, if it's your sole income, you probably won't see the payday that you're expecting. Even look at celebrities, right? They do more than just what they do, right? But anyway, I'm not trying to steal thunder from Tom. Tom is amazing. He builds great homes in Batangas. He builds them all over Manila, builds them all over the Philippines, and he loves the fact that, he wakes up in the morning and he goes and he deals with cement and concrete and all this other stuff, and he's so knowledgeable about his industry, and he just goes for it, and he's amazing at it. And he laughs sometimes, when we wake up and we stress about, oh, my boss didn't allow me to have a coffee break longer than 10 minutes, and it's just like, bruh, if I want to take coffee for 9 years, I can't, because I'm the master. Love you, Tom. Keep doing your thing. Another person is a guy, a lady, a girl, a woman, a lady, a phenom named Holly Ransom. I met Holly when I was in Australia. You can Google her, Holly Ransom, Australia. And she started off just, speaking. That's what she was. And now she's got a company and she's hiring people to facilitate her consulting brand. And the fact that she just took a talent that she had and she took a passion for helping people and just turned it into an industry, into a business for herself. Absolutely amazing. I love her. Another guy I met in Australia, his name is Tim. Tim is awesome. Tim started an organization called the Big Help Mob. You can Google them. The Big Help Mob are a not-for-profit that helps people volunteer casually. They saw that there's a need for volunteering, but people don't have the time to do it. So what they did is they have an app that can scour using Google Maps or something, I'm not sure what it is, that can scour an area for volunteering opportunities and allow you to invite people, right, to come and help you, let's say clean up a park or clean up something like that. It's absolutely brilliant. I don't want to sell it short. Go to his website, Big Help Mob, and check it out. It's awesome. Last person I want to give a shout out to is my best friend, Lorraine Nguenya. She took the plunge of no permission last year, and she set up a company or an organization called Useful Link. And what she wants to do is she wants to be able to be the link between government and youth to help tackle issues that affect young people, like unemployment, job creation, entrepreneurship, that sort of stuff. So she wants to be able to be the link between the stakeholders who affect the future of young people, because she can go and talk to policymakers, she can go talk to businesses about what young people are going through and turn around and also do that with the young people. She can talk to young people about expectations of industry, expectation of business, expectation of this and that. And she's loving it at the moment. So she's just landed a fairly lucrative gig for herself after many months of just trying and tweaking and seeing what works. And she's loving it. She's absolutely loving it. And actually, if I continue to go along this plunge of no permission series, I'll actually continue shouting out a lot of people, because I know I've left out a lot of people, but these are the people who I just wanted to take some time to recognize that, they've literally understood. They don't need anyone's permission to do what they love. And the fact that they've taken it into their own hands means that they have absolutely sole control on how they're going to impact and affect change. And I love them for it. So, this has been your boy DJ Dewa. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, please, if you think someone would find value of this, share them. And I'm out.